Welcome, everybody. It's Dawn's 12:30 intermediate class, and I'm so happy to have you all here today. It's a beautiful day in the villages. It's not snowing yet, but we're hoping so we can have a white Christmas. And we're going to be working on silver bells today. Silver bells. And this will be the last day that we do our Christmas music in this class. It's been a very interesting year, but we can still celebrate Christmas the same as we always do because the true meaning of Christmas is absolutely not to be forgotten and not to be taken lightly. So even with COVID, we will celebrate Christmas. And Silver Bells actually is a classic Christmas song composed by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans. The lyric is unusual for a Christmas song because it describes a festival in the city rather than in a rural setting. Because if you remember, a lot of these songs like Christmas in Dixie or Sleigh Ride, they're all kind of built on Christmas out in the snow, over the river and through the woods, all that kind of good stuff. But
Here,
this is in the city. So if you think about Christmas in the city,
here you go
um,
down to here, right?
it was actually um, it was actually provided by inspired by the imagery of Salvation Army bell ringers standing outside the department stores. Okay, remember you guys all have the ability to mute and unmute yourselves, so make sure that you're all muted while
Oh,
we're teaching, and if you need to unmute to stop me for fingering or whatever, you might get lost or you have a comment that you got to make, then
yeah,
go
good.
ahead and unmute yourself and interrupt me. I'm okay with that.
Want to go shopping?
Okay. So, um, first, this was first performed by Bob Hope and Marilyn Maxwell in the motion picture The Lemon Drop Kid. Do you guys know what that movie's about? I have no clue what that movie's about. Didn't see it. But it was filmed in July of and August of 1950, and it was actually released in March of 1951. The
So
first re-
Western.
the first recorded version was by Bing Crosby and Carol Richards, released in October of 1950. And after that, Crosby and Richards, after that recording got popular, then Hope and Maxwell came back in the studio, and not to be outdone, they had to totally redo um, Silver Bells. So yeah, a lot of back in the day, you didn't just have a song and only one artist brought it out. Every artist seemed to bring out the same song, and then they decided which ones were going to be the most popular. So different times, different way of doing things. Silver Bells actually started out with the title Tinkle Bells. And Evans said, "We never thought that tinkle had a double meaning until Jay went home and his wife said, 'Are you crazy? Do you have any idea what that word means?'" So uh, they changed the title because of his first wife's comment. All right, the song charted in the United Kingdom for the first time in 2009 when a duet by Sir Terry Wogan and Aled Jones, recorded for charity, reached the top 40. Now, how many people do you think recorded Silver Bells? There's a little list at the bottom,
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
and
Wow.
then there's another page. Look at all those people who recorded Silver Bells.
Wow.
And then there's another page.
Wow.
Yeah, this is absolutely an amazing song. Don Ho, Dean Martin, the Supremes, the Temptations, the Ventures, Toby Keith, Travis Tritt, anybody you can think of recorded Silver Bells. Twisted Sister, seriously? The
Wow.
Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Mike Douglas did this. Gene Autry,
Yeah.
Gary Puckett, Bing Crosby, Jim Neighbors, Rosemary Clooney and Bing Crosby, Regis Philbin. So if you'll check out the list, pretty much anybody who's anybody recorded Silver Bells. It is a
How about
waltz. Pardon?
how about Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim probably did it as well. Yep, probably did it as well. This is a waltz, and any waltz you have is going to be absolutely fabulous with this. Um, keep your tempo right around 85 to 90. And then what you want to do is once you find a pretty waltz, find some bells. Find some bells. The best place to find bells, go into your category presets and go to your bells category. And I happen to like the Celeste bells. That's just one of my favorite bells. So that's what I'm using. I believe it's bells number 3. Yep, that's what that is. And so that's going to give me the bells, and I'm going to use the duet, and I may even add some strings. I am adding some extra notes. Now, when you hear me play the extra notes, I'll give them to you, but they are optional. You do not need the extra notes. There's also a little bit of a roadmap, but nothing much. You play the song once. When you get to the end of the first ending, you go all the way back to the beginning and play the song again. So very,
Dawn, what did you say the tempo is set to?
tempo is anywhere between 85 and 90. 85 to 90. Or if you like it a little slower or a little faster, that totally depends on you. Now, it seems to me that the Christmas songs, for some reason, are in weird key centers. We never see B flat except at Christmas. We never see B flat except at Christmas. And so they're like Silent Night, I think, is in B flat. Silver Bells is in B flat. Why? I have no idea. I really don't know. Why do we see the weird keys at Christmas? Everything else in Easy Play is either C, F, or G, and that's it. But this song is in the key of B flat. Now, the only reason you need to know that is so you know which introduction to use. If you push an introduction, you want to make sure your thumb hits that B flat key to start your introduction. And I'm on just the easy waltz, which is waltz full band, or just the very first waltz with no variation.
Dawn,
Yeah.
you said when you started, when you hit an intro, then hit the B minor, which is what the song
No,
was.
no, 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 no. When you put your intro on,
Yeah,
you have to. I'm letting people in. When you put your song on,
yeah.
make sure your intro is touched. The first chord you want to touch is B flat.
Okay, okay.
B flat, because it's the first chord, it's also the last chord. It's a strange key for us to play in easy play. We don't see this key all that often.
Now, is that in every song? The first, they say like you've got your intro in and then you hit your first key.
99 times out of 100, it's the last chord of the song, not the
Yeah,
last note, but the
yeah.
last chord of the song. That's the one you should use for your introduction.
Okay.
What did you use for a background on this, Dawn?
I used Easy Waltz, which is Waltz 1, no variation.
Okay, so in song setup, Silver Threads would not be the same.
Nope, that's a completely different song. Silver Bells is a waltz, and a lot of times they don't put waltzes in your song setup because you don't have as many choices on your instrument. So they'll let you choose which waltz. Pretty much any waltz that you choose is going to work. Um, find the one that works the best for you. I also did this one on strings 101 3/4. 3/4. And then I used one of the presets that gave me vibes on top and a guitar on the bottom, and it sounded kind of pretty on that too. And I was at 80 for that. So anywhere between, oh, I guess 85, 85 to 90 is good. Yep. I could have put that other one back up to 85. I think I'll do that. Did I add some chords? A few. Not very many. I just added a few. All right, so let's do that first. The first page, and I know some of you may have a different version that's only on 2 pages, so I'm going to read the lyrics as I go so that you don't get lost. City sidewalks, that B flat is fine for that measure. Busy sidewalks. Over that next sidewalks, over the F, put a D minor. D minor, D and F. Dressed in holiday style, those chords are fine. E flat and C minor. C minor is C and E flat. In the air, you have an F and you may have an F7 on top. Cross out the F7 and just play the F for one measure. Okay? The second measure, over the word feeling, you have an E flat note, put an F7. Now that's where the F7 should go. And that's E flat and F. Feeling of Christmas. And there's a B flat there, and that chord is absolutely fine. Then it moves into an F7 in the next measure over the blacked in quarter note. Children laughing. You have a B flat, it's fine. People passing. Over the G for passing, put a D minor. D and F. If you're in book 215, the next page, smile after smile. Those 2 chords, E flat and C minor, are good. They're fine. And on every, over every, you should have an F and an F7. Cross the F7 out. Just play the F. Every street corner, over the E flat for corner, that's where the F7 goes in. E flat and F. F7 over corner. You hear B flat, then you have a C minor, then you go back to the B flat. Silver bells with B flat, silver bells with E flat. Then you have It's Christmas Time in the City. Cross out the F7, leave the F. Just play F for It's Christ. When you get to the Mas, which is the third beat in that measure, over the B flat, put an F major 7. F, capital M-A-J 7. Your 2 notes are E and F. Remember the rule for major 7, it's always the letter -1. It's the very next note down. the next measure, over the half note for the word time, put an F7, which is E flat and F. E flat and F. Then the B flat over city is perfectly good. Let's go to the next page or the next measure. Over the whited in half note, you should have an F and an F7 there. Cross them both out and replace it with a C minor. C minor is C and E flat. Then ring-a-ling with the B flat is perfect. Hear them ring with the E flat is perfect. Soon it. Cross out the F7, leave the F. Leave the F, then over the B flat for will, which is the third beat of that measure, put in an F major 7, E and F, F capital M-A-J 7, your two notes are E and F. B, Christmas Day. Over the word B, the first beat of the next measure, put an F7, which is an E flat and an F. And that's it as far as chords. So not a huge deal on chords. You should be absolutely fine with that.
Dawn,
Yes.
I have a question on the first page, third line, second measure.
Uh-huh.
Was the F over the E for feeling?
It's the F7 goes over the E flat.
F7, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Over the word air, one measure back, over the word air, just an F. Cross the F7 out.
I got that.
Air, there's a. When you get to feeling the E flat, now put in an F7.
Correct.
That's where the F7 goes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Second page, last line.
Uh-huh.
We put in an F7. Did we put that in over the C or over the B flat?
Over the C.
Over the C. Okay, got it.
Beat 1, yes. The F major 7 is good for just one count.
Okay.
On the last page, the last line
Mhm.
where it's strings of day.
Mhm.
It's the first ending. Well, that's
The
what it is.
first ending, strings of, yeah, that's on a C minor. You can do a no chord there if you want, but there is a C minor there. If you want, you can put a no chord over strings of, because that's how the song starts out, but it's not necessary. You can just
Where
go
did
from,
you put the F7
where's an F7?
on? I thought it was on the first ending. Maybe it's on the second ending.
Nope, nope, there's an F7 on the second ending, and there's nothing in that measure. It's
Okay.
just a rest.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's do the fingering, and then I will add in some of the extra notes. I'm just going to do fingering on what's there right now. B flat 5, G3, F2, D1, B flat 5, G3, second line F2, D1, dressed in high D5, C4, B flat 3, G1, 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 C5, B flat 4, third line A3, F2, E1, E flat over feeling is a 2. Circle it, you're crossing it over. F3, E flat 2, E flat 2, D1. Children laughing, B flat 5, G3, F2, D1, B flat 5, G3, F2, D1, high D5, C4. Second page over smile after smile, B flat 3, G1, 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 high C5, B flat 4, A3, F2, E1, E flat for corner, 2, circle it, you are crossing him over, F1, you're going to do one of those 1, 2, 1. Oops, I'm sorry, it's an E. 1, 2, 1. So you're going to be a 1 on an E, it's kind of strange, a 2 on the E flat, and then a 1 back under for the F. That's so that you can reach up to that high C with a 5. So if you have to work on that little finger pattern, 1, 2, 1, E, E flat, F, go ahead and do that because that's a little tricky right there. High C5, and then the word here, B flat, is a 4. Silver bells, D1, E flat 2, F3. Check mark if you wish. Silver bells, G1, A2, B flat 3. It's Christmas time. A2, A2, B flat 3, C4. B flat 3, A2, B flat 3, F1. Next page, ring-a-ling, D2, E flat 3, F4. Next line, hear them ring, G1, A2, B flat 3, A2, A2, B flat 3, C4, B flat 3, A2, B flat 3. Your pickup notes on the next line are B flat 5, G3, going back to the beginning, and the second ending your B flat is a 3. Okay, so nothing super hard. Play it the way you would sing it. It's just that we're not used to playing in this key, so our finger movements are just a little bit awkward. We're not used to all those E flats in the middle of this whole thing, but that's okay. Now to make it, go ahead.
I'm sorry. On the second ending,
Uh-huh.
we got a B flat and you got a number 3 on that, and that connects to a B.
No, it's a B flat. Nope. That's a good question. It still is a B flat. And I know, it looks like it's a regular B, but if it's a tie, it stays on the same note you were just on.
No, it just didn't look right.
It doesn't. No, especially since it's on 2 different lines, it doesn't look right. It's a B flat with a 3, and you're going to stay on a B flat with your third finger for the next line, the next measure. Good question. It doesn't look right, but that's how they do it. They leave it white. They don't fill in the letter, and they've got that little tie, and that's to remind you that your finger hasn't moved. But it does look like it's a regular B, and it's not. If you need to put a little flat symbol next to it just to remind yourself you're still on that B flat, go ahead and do so.
Yeah, because they've got that on the second page, last line. You're going from an F to an F, but it's not a whited out one. It's just but you're not playing 2 Fs there. You're just playing 1 F. Connected.
Correct. You got to watch your ties. Now, same thing in the first ending and the third line. Page 3, third line, first ending. You've got a B flat with a 3 and then a tie, but it doesn't go to the next line. It goes just to the next measure. There's no flat in front of that. There's also no letter in the note, but it's still the same note. If you need to put a little flat in front of that, just to remind yourself you're not going anywhere, you're still on that B flat, go ahead and do so. Cheating is 100% okay. Absolutely. Good question.
The guy that did this did a little too much Christmas cheer.
Or not enough.
Or not enough. I agree. Okay, now I did do some extra notes. For those of you who want the challenge, the extra notes actually started on the second page. Every street corner you hear. Now, before I start doing the extra notes, what I want to tell you is you don't need them. What you can do is if you have one of these, go ahead and use that in its place.
I have a question, Dawn, relative to
Yes.
that. when you do the that's called virtuoso,
Yes.
how does that relate to the fill?
The fill is something that's set in stone. Now,
Oh,
except
so
both
can't
of
change
them
the-
are dependent upon which chord you play.
Oh, that's true. That's
Because
true.
if you play a C chord, your fill, which I'm going to touch the bar, plays in C.
Oh,
And if I do the virtuoso, because I'm on a C chord, it's going to play a C chord. But you have a little more control over what you want this to do. This one, you don't have much control. You just have control on how long you want it to go by pressing the bar as long as you need to press it. On this one, on a virtuoso, you can either do one of these, and it's just going to play, it's actually just playing a C arpeggio. What's an arpeggio? An arpeggio is the C chord taken apart note by note. Okay, and then it goes up. Okay, that's what it's doing. Now, you can also do one of these. You can make it go down, so you have more control. You can also do a two finger
Hmm.
and go back and forth.
Hmm.
And it gives you like a harp-like effect. Or you can use it as an improvisational thing.
cool.
So you can use it for different things. You have more control over how you use the virtuoso. It is another fill-in is what it is.
Right, right. But the
It's,
other's controlled by the.
uh-huh. You can just control how you want to use it, but it is another fill-in. The rest of you that have fill-ins, find a waltz with a good fill-in, and the Easy Waltz or the Waltz Full Band has a fabulous fill-in. It gives you those arpeggios up and down.
No.
So that may be all you need. You maybe don't want to play all those extra notes. In case you do, I have them for you. So let's go to page 2, third line, right after every street corner you hear. Then you have 2 measures of just holding a B flat. Well, you can hold the B flat and then beat 2 of that measure, put in an F on the first space, beat 3, put in an A on the second space. The next measure, underneath that B flat, put a G on the second line. Put an F in beat 2, put an F on the first space. And beat 3, put an E flat on the first line. And it's going to look something like that.
Oh, all right. So F-A-G-F-E.
So you're going to play the B flat first. Now, if you want, you can hang on to that and play those notes, or you can let go of the B flat and just play those notes. That's acting like a fill-in also. You don't want to do a fill-in and those extra notes. You want to do a fill-in or those extra notes. They are acting as a fill-in. So what that actually sounds like from every street corner. See, that's acting like a fill-in. It's just every beat I'm playing a different note.
So that's F-A-G-F-E flat.
Correct.
Okay. And it's three chairs.
Okay, now after you play silver bells, now you can play a little series of notes. Actually, it sounds better in this octave with this particular bell. All you're doing is taking that B flat chord and playing the notes in a it's not an arpeggio. An arpeggio is one note after the other. You're taking the notes apart and bouncing them around. So you're going to do at the end of line 3, after you play silver bells, at the end of the line, you're going to have a B flat, and I don't care if you write it high or if you write it on the third line, it doesn't matter, B flat, then you're going to go up to, and that's an eighth note, by the way. Now in the next line, you're going to have 4 eighth notes and 1 quarter note. Everything has to add up to 3. So in that next measure, it's going to be a high D, down to an F, back up to a B flat, down to a D, and then an F. And this is what it looks like. Here's that B flat at the end of the line. And then my next line looks like this.
Oh,
Okay? D down to F, up to B flat, down to D, back to F. It doesn't matter which octave you play it in, but those are the notes. So you're going to start with the B flat on the end of that line with an eighth note, and then you're going to do those. D down to F, and you're going to just forget about holding that other note. And again, this is in place of the fill or the virtuoso. So you can either play these notes or you can do a fill, whichever way you want to make it easier for yourself. Now after the next silver bells, you're on the E flat chord. It's doing the same thing. It's taking the E flat chord apart. Okay, so it's going to be a B flat. Let me just flash it on the screen. B flat in the measure with the B flat bells. And then in that measure where you have only that held B flat, high E flat, down to a G, back up to the B flat, down to an E flat, and then land on a quarter note G.
okay.
All right, and that's all you're doing is taking that E flat chord apart and bouncing on the notes. There's nothing else on that page.
Okay.
Now let's go to the third page. Ring-a-ling. You're going to do the same thing with the B flat, D, F, B flat, D, F. The same thing you did.
Oh,
Same thing you did. B flat, up to a D, down to an F, back up to the B flat, down to the D, back up to the F.
okay.
And then after hear them ring, now you want to do the E flat chord taken apart. You've already done it. B flat, up to the E flat, down to the G, back up to the B flat, down to an E flat, and up to a G. And again, this is in place of a fill-in. So you don't need to write those in or even play them. But if you want a challenge, that's what it's there for.
Okay.
All right, and then their fingers are just they'll bounce. You'll figure those out. Whatever finger gets there first. All right, so now I'm going to play this on strings 101, 3/4, with the vibes on top and the guitar on bottom. It's going to give it a little different flavor. you've got those long measures, silver bells, when you've got a long hold, you can do one of three things. You can do the fill in, you can do this, the virtuoso, or you can do those extra notes. Any questions?
That's beautiful. Ooh.
Dawn, you used strings 101.
Strings 101 3/4, not the 4/4 one.
Okay, so you can do that, strings 101 in a waltz.
Yes, if you have it, you should
I have
have
it.
it. You should have
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I have it. Thank you.
You do have to play this in a waltz. Try the various waltzes and see what you think. I have a feeling your smoother waltzes are going to be a little bit better than your bouncier, like an papa waltz. Yeah, that might actually sound okay. A carousel waltz might sound okay. I'm a little worried about the Viennese waltz. I'm not sure Viennese waltz would work on this. But try it. You don't know until you change the recipe and try it. And you might find something that you go, oh, that's fabulous. And then David Zasnick's going to get out his disco sounds and say, Viennese waltz with disco sounds. Yes. And you never know. It could sound absolutely marvelous. So that's why I want you to get creative with what's going on in your instrument. Just try things. Try things. See what you think. There is no bad thing that you can try unless you think it's bad. And then you say, oops, I'm going to try something else. Okay, so next week we're back in the book, right?
Okay.
And what's the next song? Does anybody have the book in front of them?
You Are So Beautiful. Is that 274?
Nope. It's book number 15. You Are So Beautiful is for Monday.
That's right, I'm sorry. So that'd be the 30th?
Yeah, and we are open. We're open New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
You have a concert that day too, right?
Yes, we do. We have a 4 o'clock concert today, and we have a 4 o'clock concert next week.
Okay.
Dawn, is the next song in book 15, That'll Be the Day?
Okay, and what's the next one after that?
The next one after that
I
is,
thought we did That'll Be the Day.
oh yeah, Unchained
We
Melody,
did
we
that.
did, The
We
Way
did
You Look
the
Tonight.
Whole New World.
Yeah, I think we did That'll Be the Day.
Okay, What a
And
Wonderful World.
Unchained Melody we've already done in so many books. What's the next
Right.
song?
A
What
Whole
a
New
Wonderful
World.
World.
Which one?
What a Wonderful World.
No,
No,
Oh,
I believe it's A Whole New World.
Whole New World? I will look.
Whole New World.
Let's see.
I thought we did that one too.
yeah, I thought so.
Huh? What's the one after that?
In front of me.
Did you do What a Wonderful World?
Yes.
We just said that.
That'll
No,
be the,
What's
After
after A Whole
that
New
is-
World?
That is When I Fell in Love.
oh, The Way You Look Tonight. No, we did
We
that
did
one.
The Way You Look Tonight.
Yeah,
we
we
did
did that one.
When I Fall in Love.
We did that one.
Oh, where have I been?
I don't know where you've been.
She's been vacationing.
Oh my God. Well, I think
I knew
You
there
have
was
it.
stuff in that glass.
You Are My Sunshine, which we
There
did in
you
another
go.
book.
You Are My Sunshine, which we've already done. So we can do You Are My Sunshine and the next song,
The next one is
Yes.
Yesterday, which way?
which
I
we've
think
done
we did.
too.
We've done that too.
Yep. You Are My Sunshine, and what's the one after Yesterday?
Zippity Doo
Did we
Dah.
do that?
Then we'll
The
do
last song.
Then we'll do that. You Are My Sunshine and Zippity Doo Dah. How does that sound? And then we'll
Okay.
be done with that book.
Yes.
Okay.
That's on book, what, 15?
That's book 15. We're going to do You Are My Sunshine, Zippity Doo Dah. We're going to finish up that book. Those of you who need to come and pick up your books, remember, just don't come when I'm teaching Zoom classes because the doors are locked and I can't be selling books while I'm teaching. So come in my off hours. If you're not sure, email me and I'll let you know the schedule or scan you a schedule, but it hasn't changed in the past couple of months. So my schedule is pretty steady Eddie right now. Okay?
Hey,
Just to
Don, did-
review here, I need You Are My Sunshine and Zippity Doo Dah. They're the two I'll need shortly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't have those,
Okay, so I think I might have them in another book.
Okay.
But what book are we going to run after that?
After that, it's book 367, which is books of songs of the
You got
70s.
your mask?
And Sue Kelly, if you have
Yeah.
that book, can you flash that up in the screen
Hold
again?
on.
Yeah.
Okay,
There,
I'll
see
try
that one?
to find a copy of
See it,
367.
Fred? But a little higher, Sue. A little higher.
Appreciate it.
There you go.
They were too high.
Oh,
See
really?
it?
I bought one because I didn't know if it would fit you right.
That's the
Why
one
didn't
we're
you
going
buy
to go
two?
into.
Because I didn't know if it would fit you right or if you would
All
like.
Yeah, but if it don't fit me,
Concert.
it would
There's a
fit you.
concert at 4 today. So join us at 4 for the concert. There is a variety class, I think at 2. And I do believe Carey Price is teaching that one, and I know how much you guys love him. So go catch Carey at 2, then catch me at 4. Not just me, but
Hope
Carey.
you all didn't want to practice.
Ah, yeah.
Hey,
So,
Dawn, did you say there's a 4 o'clock concert next week as well?
yes, there is a concert next week as well, and it will be the
1 o'clock.
entire staff. We're each going to
Or
play one
3.
song
On Wednesday?
on Wednesday. Yes.
Okay, thank you much.
Yep, you are welcome.
1 PM.
Who's a surprise guest?
The surprise guest today, well, Robert's playing most of the concert. The surprise guests are Joni, myself, and Carey Price.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. That'll be fun.
So we're going to do some Christmas stuff for you. Our Christmas concert to you.
Can
Good.
we get that online then? Because I have a doctor's appointment.
That one should be recorded and going to YouTube. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And he
So how
recorded
long are you
even
going to
the-
be at the store today, Dawn?
I will be here till at least 5.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Okay.
Thank you, you too.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas to
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
If we don't see you at 4, Merry Christmas. And yes, we are open all day tomorrow, at least until 4 o'clock. So I'll be here at least until 4 tomorrow, if anybody wants to come in and pick up a book.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right? You guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome,
Merry
awesome.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Ho, ho, ho.
Linda. Bye-bye.
Ho-ho. Love you guys.
Love you
Bye.
too. Have a safe holiday.
Thank you. You too, Linda.